UAB Police Department hijacking of justice. Justice begins with due process. Excerpt taken from Wikipedia. At a basic level, procedural due process is essentially based on the concept of fundamental fairness. For example, in 1934, the United States Supreme Court held that due process is violated if a practice or rule offends some principle of justice so rooted in the traditions and conscience of our people as to be ranked as fundamental. As construed by the courts, it includes an individual's rights to be adequately notified of charges or proceedings, the opportunity to be heard at these proceedings, and that the person or panel making the final decision over the proceedings be impartial in regards to the matter before them. How could that be true in this case? Walk into any court in America and say that the cops are crooked and be believed. Good luck with that. If I were guilty of the crimes as stated by the UAB police officers, then you should have just let the system of justice work. But the UAB police did not. When the mayor's office was contacted, Robbie Priest was very helpful. She passed along my concerns to Chief Roper, who had someone from Internal Affairs call me. The individual from the Birmingham Police Department Internal Affairs found the female officer involved after doing an investigation. I stated to him that the female officer acted in a very professional manner to escort me from inside the arena. I did not have any concerns about how she handled her duties on that day. I stated to him that Officer Hicks and others were the cause of my concern. At that time, according to the individual from the Internal Affairs Department of the Birmingham Police Force, that there was no Officer Hicks on the Birmingham force, and that I should contact the UAB Police Department. And that's where my concerns reached stage 5 due process nuclear meltdown. When I walked in to obtain the complaint form, one officer asked if it could be worked out without me filing a complaint. I said no. He then asked if I would fill out the complaint at the station. I stated that I needed the complaint forms to take with me and I would return with the completed form. Upon returning with the completed complaint form to the UAB police headquarters, another officer asked who the complaint was being filed against. I stated Officer Hicks. He stated loudly that it could not be Officer Hicks. At that point, I knew the fix was in. On April 10, 2008, I received a response from Captain Epting. Of course, the response from UAB said the following. To Sherry, April 10, 2008 memorandum to Miss Sherry Carson from Captain Alfred Epting. Subject Bartow Arena Incident, January 26, 2008. Thank you for forwarding your statement to me concerning the incident that occurred on January 26, 2008 at Bartow Arena. You and your companion were arrested for misdemeanor charges, which were also witnessed by the arresting officers. Officers only acted to effect the arrest and directly transported you to the jail. The need to read you your Miranda rights was not necessary because you were not interrogated. When you were at the jail, the magistrate would have informed you of your court date and charges prior to being released. The issues concerning the Secret Service and the Birmingham police officers, must be addressed by their respective agency. Signed, Captain Alfred Epting. Carbon copy to Chief Anthony Purcell, Assistant Vice President. And it says that it should be filed. Of course, the fix was definitely in. Inaccuracies in the response. I was escorted out of the Bartow Arena by a female Birmingham police officer, and sir, I was not under arrest. I was arrested some minutes later by a UAB officer after being pushed around by other officers. So to say that you were just carrying water for an arrest made by the Birmingham Police Department is quite simply a lie. So when I checked the website of the UAB Police Department in October of 2009 and found that there were only 3 complaints filed against them. You can find this information by going to http://main.uab.edu/police. Click on About Us, Professional Conduct, scroll down to Yearly Complaint Reports. Click on 2008 and there you will see only 3 complaints. And all 3 complaints were for conduct unbecoming an officer. One officer's identity that I know of is, and this information is taken from the Birmingham News, Roderick Andre Oliver, 45, was arrested in December of 2008. Mr. Oliver was a 20-year veteran of the UAB Police Department. He resigned, but not Hicks and his buddies. And of all three of the listed complaints resulted either in reprimand plus suspension or resignation. Quite interesting. So this proves what I had stated in my complaint over a year ago, I thought, according to their own statistics. But when I called Terry Rice of the UAB Police Department to question the inconsistencies between the response to my complaint from Captain Alfred Epting and their own statistics, she was not available when I called, so I left a very detailed message. So did the contact person for Internal Affairs, Terry Rice, respond? No, I received a call from Assistant Chief of Police Marvin K. Atmore. I questioned why the Internal Affairs representative did not call. He stated that he could provide all the help that I needed with my concerns. When I voiced my concerns, Atmore said the following: I see no record of a complaint being filed by you. I have attached a rough draft of the completed form and the 2-page attachment. No record, I say. If there was no record of a complaint, then why did I receive a response from your captain? I have the response. He then stated after repeated questions by me, what do you want to happen? After all, the officers no longer are on the police force. I might have lived with the fact if it were true. But another lie. Officer Hicks reported for work on 10/16/2009. How do you know this? I had a friend call the main exchange for the UAB Police Department and asked for Officer Hicks. Back to the conversation with Atmore. Then this is the craziest thing that he said to me. Even though you filed a complaint, received a response from Captain Epting, which was CC'd to Chief Anthony Purcell, we cannot find, nor are we going to look for the complaint, and furthermore that this matter is closed, and regardless of whom I call in the UAB Police Department about this matter, that all calls will be forwarded to him, and that this information about my concerns or the missing complaint would go no further than him. Atmore, sir, to you these few points. Sir, lies and all evil deeds stink. You can cover them up, but in the end the smell reveals their location. I was in jail in Birmingham, Alabama in 2008 because injustice is here in this city. The same flawed system that imprisoned Dr. King and others here 46 years ago sadly still exists in the city in 2009. This is the information age. For you, Mr. Atmore, to try and contain the flow of this information is akin to you taking an empty soda bottle and attempting to contain air. I still want what I stated in my complaint to the UAB Police Department, in my passionate answer to you through our phone conversations, in my complaint to the mayor's office, even in my complaint to the United States Secret Service. I want what happened to me on that January day in 2008 at Bartow Arena on the campus of UAB located in Birmingham, Alabama, to not happen to any other person. I never thought that going to a rally for change that I would have to surrender a portion of my privacy to become an agent of change. Never say never, they say, but never will I let this go. I will never come short on this issue, and believe this. I, Sherry Carson, was raised to live in a manner that would never allow any person, regardless of color, size, position, or title, or uniform, deny me of my rights as an American citizen. No, never. If due process is my right, then due process shall it be every damn time. I have not been raised in this state with a Jim Crow past to be a victim of a rigged system. I, Sherry Carson, would have to deny the bloodlines of the departed Mr. and Mrs. Albert Carson Sr., and this, sir, would be the utmost disrespect to their lives and the struggles that they endured in this city for me to participate in a system where the inside man, the UAB Police Department, have rigged the system. Sir, that I will never do. We passionately preach in churches, schools, and in our homes that the system of American justice to our citizenry, both young and old. When we preach about the justice system, we must also passionately preach the following: that for our system of justice to prevail, that justice should be blind from the outset. And then if it is not, by any means necessary, we as American citizens should expose the flaws in this process. This is one American citizen's attempt to make the process, at least on the surface, appear to be fair. There were 547 arrests by the UAB Police Department in 2008, according to those statistics. In those arrests, was justice hijacked as well? What should happen now? I call on the president of UAB, Carol Z. Garrison, to launch an investigation of the UAB Police Department. I call on the district attorney for Jefferson County to participate in this investigation. I feel that that would be a good beginning. For a copy of my supporting documentation, go to www.securityviewpoint.com and click on Research. And yes, Sandra Tucker, people in Birmingham, Alabama still protest against injustice. Some just do it with a little twist of technology.